As we celebrate this July 4th, and we celebrate the land of the free and the home of the brave, I am proud to tell you that as long as we have a free country, you are free to make as much money or as little money as you want to make. You don't have to make a lot of money. Thank you for that brilliant epiphany. Can I continue? Yes, you can, because it's a free country. You can keep going or you can stop. It's up to you. It's your show. Yet again, thank you for the updates. However, now it's time for the show. We're going to be interviewing Paul Loveland. This guy's having massive success. He's grown his business by 40%, and we want to ask him, how's he doing it? Who this is? Loveland. I just want to know who this is. Who is this show about? What was his name? I need to know the name. Paul Loveland. Yes, I do love this land too, but this is, I just want to know, what's his name? His name is Paul Loveland. He's a 75-year-old man, and he's growing his business. Yes, I'm going to get up in your business if you don't tell me his last name. I've asked you now the third time, Clavis. I want to know, what is his name? Tell me his name. What is his real last name? His name is Paul Loveland. You was yelling. I don't understand what I need to say to you to explain to you that his last name is Paul. His first name is Paul. His last name is Loveland. Yes, can I be honest with you? Can I just say something that's on my heart? Can I just say something honest with you? What choice do I have? You is sounding dumb. Just you're raising your voice and you sound all angrified. Sure. And you're just a big old anger there. And I just think that you just need to calm down and tell us who's going to be on the show. His name is Paul Loveland. He's 75 years old. He's grown his company by 40% in the 2020 calendar year thus far. Let's get to the show.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, and yes! Thrive Nation, we are in the air everywhere, and I am super excited to be here with you because we have prepared a laser show of an encouraging show for you. There's somebody out there listening today, somebody, I don't know who it is. It could be you, or it could be you. It could be her, it could be her, it could be him, it could be somebody. And you feel like this is your year to thrive, but COVID-19. Last year was your year to thrive, but that thing happened. Next year will be your year, but good things never happen to you. And so we're starting to feel like success is for other people. But I can tell you, I've taken algebra 3 times. I went to college, did not graduate, took my ACT multiple times. And if I can do it, I know you can do it. And so we want to have real entrepreneurs on this show. Yeah, we have Wolfgang Puck on the show. Yeah, we have John Maxwell. It is so exciting to have the founder of Netflix and the founder of Square and Damon John from Shark Tank all on the show. But I want to have a show today where we meet a real entrepreneur out there that's having some massive success. So Paul Loveland, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I am great and glad to be here. Thank you, Clay.
Paul, what were these series of poor life choices that you made to end up on this show? How did you first hear about us?
Well, actually, Tim called me back in January, and it was just such an opportune time that I had decided to this year was going to be the year we were going to grow. And Tim's office called, and Redmond, and we've been growing ever since. So.
Now, Tim Redmond, a little context, he was my boss when I was 18, 19 years old. My first real job. Tim grew tax and accounting software from 2 people to 350-plus employees. And they sold the company to TurboTax, thus ending my first real job. I had a name badge and everything. I had the ID, the name badge. I was on the company roster. They had health care, the whole thing. That was my first real job. And after Tim sold the business, he and his partner, I went on to start one of America's largest DJ companies, and then we reconnected at a speaking event, I think 10, 15 years later, and now we are honored to provide the back-end support. My marketing firm, Make Your Life Epic, supplies the back-end support for the Redmond group, for the Redmond. Tim Redmond has a consulting company. You can go there right now, folks, if you Google search Redmond Growth, you can learn more about Tim Redmond. So Tim Redmond's team cold called you. Is that correct, Paul?
They did, absolutely, yes. And I'm sure that whoever called me was surprised when I said yes. So because I don't think they get a lot of yeses, but they just happened to call me at the right time.
How long ago did they first call you?
It was in January.
So we're talking. We're now in. It's almost July. So how much have you grown since you received that cold call?
We're right at 40% over where we were last year at this time.
And what do you do for a living?
We are a residential service company. We offer the services. We're primarily electricians, and we do plumbing repair and service our customers. We've been doing it for many years, but again, I've been bigger, I've been smaller, and we decided this year we were going to do a growth thing, and we're taking off. Again, Tim Redmond's team at Redmond Growth, they cold called you. And there had to be some skepticism there when they called you and said, hey, we'd love to work with you on a month-to-month basis to help you grow your company. I mean, were you skeptical? Well, yeah, because I get a lot of calls, I'm sure, like most people do. But I was willing to take it a try, and they made it sound like I couldn't lose. So, and I'm all about that. So it sounded good to me.
And how long have you been an entrepreneur? How long have you been in business?
Well, most all my life, actually. I've been a remodeling contractor and an electrical contractor, and then we started specializing just in the residential service market 20 years ago. So, where are you located? What city are you in? We're near St. Louis, and we service the St. Louis market.
Have you been going out and rioting at all?
No, I'm not into that.
You're not into rioting? I figured that would be the key to success, is you would tell me, yes, Clay, I riot every day. This just in, Paul Loveland does not riot.
Right.
Okay, and so you...
Do I get a kudo for that or something?
Yeah, you get 1 mega point. That's a big thing.
There you go.
The founder of Netflix, the co-founder of Netflix, when he was on the show, he wanted mega points. And we don't just pass these out lightly. These things carry no earthly value, but in the next round, we believe in heaven. We have no proof of it. We believe they do carry some sort of value. We don't have proof of it yet, but we are in this COVID.
I can use all the help I can get, Clay.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, that's two of us. Now we're in this COVID-19 economy. A lot of people are saying it's not possible to grow, but you're telling me on the record you've grown by 40%.
Yes, sir. Over last year, we sure have. Yeah.
This year.
That's correct.
We've
essentially doubled in the last couple of months, yeah.
What's your web address, sir?
LovelandHomeSolutions.com.
And you're not being paid to say this?
That's right. No.
Okay.
Pleasure to talk to you.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to ask you some tough questions, rapid fire. So rapid fire that I brought an attorney with me. And James is an attorney. Are you supposed to be pathological liars? Can you lose your license if you get caught lying a lot? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay, and what is the name of your law firm, James?
I'm the lawyer James, thelawyerjames.com.
Where is home for you?
Home is currently in New York City, Manhattan.
Why are you here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Why am I here? Because I am a coaching client, and because I don't have to wear a mask wherever I go, and because the Thrive offices are just one of the most incredible places on earth.
So when you take somebody into court and you're interrogating them, they're on the witness stand, isn't one of the techniques you want to ask them questions in kind of rapid succession where they can't think of a clever lie yet? I mean, you want to kind of catch somebody in a lie. Is that correct?
Well, so there's two different things in terms of questioning, right?
We're gonna come after Paul hot and heavy here in a minute. Get ready, Paul.
Okay.
Here we go.
There's direct examination questions, which is a friendly witness, and you just want to ask open-ended questions.
Sure.
And then with a hostile witness, and I guess that Paul's a hostile witness.
Oh, he sounds hostile. Listen to the voice. He sounds very hostile. Right?
You just want to ask yes or no questions, and the ones that, and very leading. Like, you went to the movies last night, didn't you?
Oh, nice. So I'm going to do, Paul, is I'm going to begin interrogating Paul. And James, feel free to one-up me here. We want to see if we can catch him into some sort of scamockery that he did not actually grow by 40%. We want to catch, here he is trying to share the good news. So he says he's trying to encourage people. But really, what's his motive? So
where's Paul based out of?
Paul, where are you based out of?
Near St. Louis.
Near St. Louis. So here we go. Here are my questions. You claim to have grown by 40%. To what do you attribute the growth?
Well, largely Tim Redmond's group and yourself, I'm sure, helped us get into the market. We were not getting near the leads we are getting right now, and with their help, we've gotten into Google. Our Google reviews are over 100 now, and they start with when we all started with you all, there were maybe 10 or 12. There wasn't really not many Google reviews. They've helped us get a professional website, and all of that has really helped get the calls come in.
Now, you've grown by 40%, and so some of the listeners say, okay, really? Okay, it sounds believable. All this is sounding – some people have Googled your website right now. Somebody else was driving, and they're going, I need the website one more time. So, Paul, one more time, Paul, what's your website?
LovelandHomeSolutions.com.
Okay, so what specific action steps have you taken? Just give us a few of the moves you've implemented that have helped you grow your business by 40%.
Well, again, we've gotten up front with Google and gotten our Google reviews up. We're posting on Google, posting pictures and so forth, and put together this new website. Matter of fact, I just had a truck wrap, my first truck wrap done, and I received it today, and it is awesome. I don't know if the picture's on the website yet or not, but it's really cool.
So so you've got the Google presence. Have you guys tackled hiring people yet? Have you guys gone into that, how to hire people and how to find good people?
Oh yeah, we're progressively out hiring people. I've put on 3 new people on my technician staff and hired an office secretary. So, yes.
Some would say it's not possible to find good people in today's market. I've heard this even before COVID. People say, oh, you can't find good people anymore. There are no good people. Has the Redmond team helped you implement our system and as far as hiring people? Have they kind of coached you through that process at all, or just tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I've been at this for a long time, but I didn't know how in today's market to go out and market for our employees. I'm not really internet savvy. I'm 75 years old, so I've been at this a long time, and the internet's kind of new to me. So, but at any rate, they got me into Indeed as far as hiring, and also on Craigslist. We've been doing hiring on advertising on Craigslist, and that's where we have found most of these people. The office supervisor that I mentioned happened to be a very good friend of ours, and she was looking to make a change. And my gosh, she's been with us for a month, and she's just turned the office around. So it's been great.
I'm not going to ask how much you pay Tim Redmond. I can just say that we have scholarship clients. Okay. We have some clients that are on a scholarship, but I would say the average client is about $1,700 a month. Some clients pay a little more. Some have certain exclusivity in different markets, but it's a flat rate kind of thing, Right. Are you getting hit with a bunch of hidden charges from my team or Tim Redmond that you were not expecting?
No, none at all. I have asked them to do some additional things for me, like the I forget what you call it, but the stuff you have to post on Google, so you keep up front with the page and everything like that. But those are things that I personally asked for them to do for me. They were in addition to what they were already doing. And as Tim mentioned that when we first got started, he would be like hiring someone in the office, and that's about the fee that I pay per month, and having an extra office person, and it's quite absorbable. So.
Somebody would say, I'm thinking about filling out the form, going to the website, filling out the form, scheduling a 13-point assessment to meet with somebody like Tim Redmond or myself, and they're having some doubts. What would you say to that person?
Oh, I don't have any doubt. I would say if you want to have a new life, if you want to change your future, I would say you certainly should do it. No question about it.
Now, when people go to thrivetimeshow.com and they click on the testimonials button, when they go to thrivetimeshow.com and they click on testimonials, or they go to redmondgrowth.com, people see literally at this point hundreds upon hundreds of super successful people. But what I hear all the time is people say, yeah, that's Paul Loveland, but he's 75. He probably knows more than me. Yeah, that's James, the attorney, but he's an attorney in New York. I'm just, I'm in Maine. Yeah, that's a doctor, but I'm a dentist. Yeah, that guy who's winning is a dentist, but I'm a lawyer. People just always feel like success is for somebody else. You've been on the planet long enough, Paul. I'd like to get your take on this. What would you say to somebody who says, I know their program works, but it probably won't work for me because I'm just never lucky.
Yeah, I don't think luck has anything to do with it. You just have to believe in yourself and believe in the people that you're working with enough to make things happen. You can't be a negative nanny. That'll never work. So,
James, you have the floor. We've got about 3 minutes on the hot seat. So far, we've been pretty brutal to Paul at this point. I mean, Paul seems like a nice guy, but, you know, he's got to be hiding something.
Well, as you can see by the look on my face, I feel very uncomfortable, Clay. All right. Okay, I've got a question that relates to team, and it relates to the hiring process to get that team, specifically the characteristic or trait. Do you have one characteristic or trait in a potential hire that would either be a definite no or a definite yes? Like a definite no to the point where you would just graciously thank them for coming by, cut the interview short, stop asking questions, and then just walk them out and ask them to leave. That would be the no. And then the yes would be, okay, you exhibit this characteristic. I'm going to offer you the job on the spot. Shake the hand. Welcome to the team. You guys agree on terms, and you're excited to work together. So that's called a compound question. It would be objected to at trial.
Oh, wow.
But Paul, if that's confusing,
actually, integrity and honesty is something I look in everybody. If I can't trust somebody, I sure don't want them working for me. And because we're in the public eye, in other words, my people go to knock on doors and so forth. I don't want the woman of the house to feel like I'm afraid to let this person into my house. So first of all, they have to be presentable, but they have to have honesty and integrity as far as I'm concerned. So,
and I would say this: if you do a group interview, if you implement the group interview method that we teach on the ThriveTimeShow.com, it's great because you're interviewing about 30 to 40 candidates all at one time in the same physical place. And for those of you who have yet to implement this, it is phenomenal because you're able to compare side by side who's captain character, and who's dangerous Danny, who's captain character. Or who is a terrible human. You can see it side by side.
Narcissistic nanny, right?
You can see people that literally will show up, 12 minutes late for the interview, and they'll go, is this where the interview is? Is this where it is? I couldn't find it. And you're going, this person is shouting at their potential boss. You'll see the nefarious non-question statement questions. So do you guys hire, only Christians because I heard you're a Christian company, or do you care about everybody? It's like, wow, that's a great question. Or you'll get the guy who, no, seriously, you'll get that. You'll get the guy who says, so, I have a tattoo on my head, my forehead. Does that, do you discriminate? Like, well, one, stop sounding that way. But two, if you have a tattoo on your forehead, unless you're Post Malone, it's probably not a good pro tip for success. Attorney James, you have a question here, Lawyer James.
Yeah, one more question, and it's a
Sure.
totally self-serving question because you'll see by the question that I'm going to ask. Who reviews your legal contracts and drafts
look
your
at
legal
that.
contracts and make sure that your business is protected and you've got deadlines.
Do you have a good
in place?
attorney, Paul, you like?
No, actually, I'm my own attorney right now, so that the attorney would probably say I'm a fool. But so far, I've gotten away with that. That's next on my agenda. I really need to get an attorney to look over our business matters. But
I will tell
so
you
far,
this.
I've squeezed with that one.
I'll say this here without reservation for the listeners out there. There are 3 attorneys that I consistently hear good things about. And there's probably many, many more out there for sure, but there's only 3 that I can speak to. I know their character, know what they do. One is Reeb Law, Scott Reeb, R-E-I-B, Reeb Law. And I always tell people, call 3 and compare. Call 3. Don't just call 1. But Scott Reeb, I've known him for a long time. He's a former client. Great guy. Scott Reeb, based in Dallas, Texas, works with clients all over the country. Wes Carter with Winters and King, his law firm, represents everybody has represented everybody from Joel Osteen to Pastor Joyce Meyer to Pastor Craig Rochelle to T.D. Jakes. I mean, big time people. He's a very busy guy, though. A lot of times, it's a busy guy, and he's got to make sure you're a good fit for him and vice versa. And Attorney James here. James, you're based in Manhattan. You've worked with huge clients and small clients. What's your website there, sir?
All over the place, all over the country, all over the world. Clients all over the country, all over the world. The website is The Lawyer James, thelawyerjames.com. And we have a $1.
The $1.
The $1. The fee is $1 for up to an hour. It's called the Legal and Business Checkup, where we go over a 15-point assessment of your business. We look at your contracts, your agreements, your employment relationship, your business formation documents. You look at your strategic relationships with strategic partners. And
does this take place in a hot tub? Does this take place in a hot tub, James? James, answer the question.
I'm not going to respond to that.
It might take place in a hot tub. Unbelievable. I was curious why you're not getting more leads.
And that one, so in that case, yes, it does take place in a hot tub. And I don't know if that's going to increase or decrease the
So if you fill out the form, you might or might not have your first legal interaction with him in a hot tub. So.
But the $1 gets donated to citymeals.org, citymeals.org, and it is an organization that's been around for a while, and it feeds New York City's elderly population, those who can't get out or are afraid to get out. And this existed long before coronavirus, and it's just a wonderful organization. The video that's on there is a real tearjerker, and they're just doing the right thing, and they still need something like 450,000 meals. It's pretty crazy how busy they are, and it's a wonderful organization.
Paul, I've got one final question for you. You
Yes,
have
sir.
the microphone. This show will be heard by millions of people, and a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now. I think everybody is aware of government's reaction to the COVID chaos. A lot of people are aware of rioting, looting, all these things. You've been on the planet for 75 years, so you've seen a lot. What encouragement would you have for the listeners out there?
Well, I don't know how to say it, except that I've always been a positive thinking person, and I think you can do whatever you want to do. You can make whatever you want happen. It's kind of funny, but I was listening to the Secret program. I'm sure you've heard that, the movie and so forth, and I like when I'm exercising, I like to listen to all kinds of audio stuff like that, and my gosh, I was thinking about The Secret and several months ago, and now it's just happening. I mean, the stuff that's coming to us that you just would not believe. It happens. It's just not you have to do The Secret, but just be positive and keep moving forward, and stuff will come your way.
I 100% agree that when what you think about, you will bring about as long as you're a person of action. Think about what
Absolutely.
you want.
Person of action, right.
Be a
right.
person
I
of
totally
action.
agree.
Be a solution-minded, proactive person. Be a solution-minded, proactive person. Do not be a non-problem solving, live in the past, complain about the world person. Be a builder. Don't be a terror downer. Be a doer, not just a hearer of these words. This is absolutely going to be your year to thrive. You too could be the next Paul Loveland, ladies and gentlemen. You too could be the next Paul Loveland. Think about that. You too could be living a life of luxury. You too could be growing by 40%. You too would have enough time freedom to appear on the Thrive Time show. I mean, think about how much time freedom you'd have to have if you're going to just throw down the drain a good 20 minutes of your time. If you're going to take 20 minutes of your time and just throw it down, I mean, you could be talking into a box fan. You got to have the kind of time freedom needed where you could spend your entire day talking into a box fan. Paul could be doing that right now. He could be talking into a box fan to try to sound like Darth Vader. He could be doing that. He could be doing that. He could be watching Harry Carey replays.
Holy cow!
He could be hanging out at a monastery doing finger painting. He could be watching Caddyshack for the 47th time. But he, Thrive Nation, has enough time freedom to do all those things and appear right here on the Thrive Time show. So again, Paul, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hey, I'm going to get this show to you right away. I'll get it to you tonight. But again, just thank you for your time and for encouraging our listeners.
Well, I look forward to seeing you next month. It's been awesome. Thank you.
And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom! All right, let's just say that you're out there listening today and you have a website for your business. The question I would have for you is, are you getting the most number of leads possible? Are you ranking high? Wow.
Touching the canvas.
Can't feel my face. Or are you ranking
Whoa.
in the Google search engine results? Again, I ask, are you ranking high? Or are you ranking low on the Google search engine search results? Take a moment today and do a Google search for the keywords that you want to come up top for and see where you are ranking. And if your website is not generating enough leads and business for your company, I would encourage you to request a free search engine optimization 37-point website audit today. Again, a free 37-point website audit can be yours today. Whoa. All right, Thrive Nation, it's a conference week. We just had a conference this past weekend, and so we have some great people in town. We have Josh Spurl, a CPA from Canada, and we have Dr. Timothy Johnson here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Josh Spurl, how in the heck are you?
Doing pretty good, Clay. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well here. We're not broadcasting from the Man Cave studios as normal, so we got a little bit of background noise there to contend with, but we're here. And I wanted to see if you could share with the Thrive Nation approximately how long you and I have been working together and how that's impacted the number of inbound leads that you're generating as a result of your Google search engine ranking and internet marketing.
Well, we've been working together, Clay, now for almost a year. It was about a year ago I came out to my first conference, and then we started with the coaching program shortly after that. And, our Google leads have gone from, something that we would generate, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 leads a year to, we're talking about 3 to 9 leads every single week.
And I think that you now are the highest ranked certified public accounting office or accounting practice in all of Edmonton, Canada. Am I correct?
Yeah. So we started out, thinking about, you told us we got to get the 40 reviews, and I thought you're crazy, but we got the 40 reviews, and then we took a look around, and the highest person in our city was just over 100, and we beat them, and then we took a look around, and there was only one guy ahead of us in Canada, so we reached out, and now we're the highest and most reviewed CPA firm in Canada.
Now, I need to resolve in my mind what happened, because when we first met you, I know you had an airplane ticket booked to fly from Edmonton to, I think, Minneapolis, and then from Minneapolis to St. Louis, and from St. Louis to Tulsa, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the flight somehow got delayed or canceled, and so you drove from Minneapolis to Tulsa. And did you have a good experience at the workshop?
It was a great experience. I showed up looking like a homeless person. I forgot my luggage, and Andrew was nice, and he showed me my seat anyways, so which was comforting. Well,
the listeners out there, they want to verify that you're real. What is your web address?
My web address would be www.spurl.ca.
So after going to a workshop, having a good experience, why did you think, because everyone tells me, they say, I thought you were crazy. Now, I used to wear a suit, and when I wore a suit, people still said the same thing. So why did you think that we were crazy when I was just obsessing about writing content every week and getting Google reviews? Why did you think I was nuts?
Oh, no, I believed it was the right thing. I just thought the ability to actually get 40 reviews would be difficult. We're a specialized CPA firm. We only work with 100 households at a time. So getting 40 reviews seemed like a challenge, but then I realized it's a real possibility. You just got to be diligent on it.
Did you find that you had to ask a lot of people to get yeses?
You had to ask them and ask them and ask them again. I think one of our latest reviews was a client, and I've been his accountant for over a decade, and I was asking him pretty much every month in our monthly meetings, and I think it took until the last month before I came to this conference where he finally left us a review.
Well, if you are out there today and you Google search Thrive Time Show and then the word Jinx, you'll see that we used to have 605 reviews as of the time of this recording, and now we have 603. And you're going to find over time that Google will audit the reviews, and if a review seems contrived, or maybe if the person who's written a review for you hasn't written a review for any other company beyond yours, Google will remove it. Or what I run into a lot with my business is that a lot of our coaching clients end up becoming service providers for us. So as an example, there's a t-shirt vendor we worked with last year that came to the conference and loved us and left us a great review. Well, then we started working with them, right? And so we left them a review because they did a great job. And then other people, then Google audits it and goes, wait a minute, it looks like their reviews swapped. So there's all different things Google looks for to kind of look for fishy stuff. But you've stayed the course. How many Google reviews do you now have?
I believe as of today we have 263, I believe.
So you have 263 objective Google reviews, 263 objective Google reviews at Spurl CPA in Canada. Think about that. 260 objective Google reviews. How many pages of content have you written? Because you do video, and then we transcribe that for you. How many pages have you done?
Yeah, we've probably done about 120 videos right now.
120 videos. So the 120 videos, you're topping Google. And again, the investment of your time has been how much, do you think? How much time have you invested in this process?
Usually I can get videos out in about 8 hours. I can do about 8 videos now if I batch them together.
And I was told, when you and I talked a few months ago, my understanding is one of your goals was to get your income level up to a certain point and to buy a Raptor, a Ford Raptor.
That's right, yeah.
Did you buy the Raptor?
Bought the Raptor.
Yes!
In cash at the bank, and it's the video of us walking into the bank and trying to withdraw the $87,000 in cash is coming out on the YouTube channel as well.
So you bought a Raptor, a large truck, cash. You bought a house.
That's right.
You're having more time freedom, more financial freedom than ever before. What advice would you give anybody out there on the other side of this audio testimonial? What advice would you give for? Because we have about 500,000 people that listen to our podcast every single month. What advice would you give them directly?
That they're probably underestimating the value of Google reviews and content on their website. And one of the things that's also taught at the conference is the value of the group interview. You know, how much time you're spending on recruiting and maintaining the best team. You can gain that time back and use that time instead to get Google reviews and do more content.
If you want to get an audit of your website, a 37-point audit of your website, email us today for free at info@thrivetimeshow.com. That's email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we're going to take about an hour to 2 hours, depending upon the size of your site. And we're going to do an in-depth audit of your website. Why? Because 90% of the time, you've got a lot of problems with your website, and we know how to fix it, and you probably don't. And there's only 3 SEO companies in the world that I would respect, honestly. One that so far is SEO Inc., SEOinc.com, great company owned by Gary Grant. The second one there is Bruce Clay. It's bruceclay.com. He writes Search Engine for Dummies every year. And then my firm, makeyourlifeepic.com, which provides all the back-end support for the Thrive coaching. So if you're out there on the video platform, that's Thrive. If you're listening to the podcast, that's the Thrive Time Show. And if you're looking for that actual application, that's what Make Your Life Epic has been doing since 2008. And it's just, could you explain maybe the return on investment of having coaching and search engine optimization help there from your perspective there, Captain Spurl?
Oh, I would think it's really a no-brainer in terms of the types of business decisions that we're making and the costs involved and all. We're just generating far more in excess. It's really not even been a question because it's so far out ahead. If
you were to pay somebody in Canada, what's the minimum wage in Canada?
Unfortunately, the minimum wage in our province right now is $15 an hour, the highest in the country.
So if it's $15 an hour, in America, the minimum wage, I'm just making up an example, but in America, if you paid someone $10 an hour, you're an accountant, so help me out here. If you pay them $10 an hour for 40 hours a week, and then they work 4.3 weeks a month, on average, that's $1,720. Now, in America, we got to add on taxes.
Yeah.
Dr. Tim Johnson, have you noticed that we have to add on payroll taxes and various other costs on top of just the flat $10 an hour?
Yeah, you got the health insurance.
Benefits. Office space. Manager, hold them accountable. I would say that minimum, if you have a $10 per hour employee in America today, it's going to cost you about $2,300 a month to employ that person. And that's why our program is $1,700 a month. It is less than even one $10 per hour employee. And Dr. Tim, I'm sorry that this microphone is so sensitive. You'll have to just eat that microphone with a spirituality the world has never seen before. Talk to us about the name of your business, where you're located, and how you first heard about us.
Yeah, so I'm at Southern Eye Consultants. It's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We heard about you on the podcast, and I had a lot of trepidation at first about getting involved, just making sure it was legit. But all my expectations have been exceeded.
What concerns did you have about our legitness or lack thereof?
I was just concerned about back-end upselling, what I was getting into.
That's what I found. My entire career, yeah. Had you guys been to, Dr. Tim, had you been to other workshops or had other industry coaching before? Because I had hired a lot of them, frankly, and I just found I would be lying if I said hundreds of thousands. It's been more than that.
Oh, we hired somebody to do our website right before we found you.
Yeah.
And it was 3 or 4 months of your coaching service, and we still haven't launched that website yet.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if somebody out there's thinking about filling out the form, if someone's thinking about emailing us to info@thrivetimeshow.com, that's info@thrivetimeshow.com, and they have a little bit of hesitation, just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit, what advice would you have for them, Dr. Tim?
First of all, come to one of the conferences. You'll see that he may dress like Bill Belichick, but my wife's a Pats fan, so that was a real selling point.
Nice.
She thought you were a hobo, but I said, no, he's just Bill Belichick. She goes, okay, you can go.
Nice.
But it's also month to month, so try it, and if you don't like it, cancel.
That deserves a mega point. Yeah. So again, has your sales gone up? Have you increased your sales? I mean, where's your financial? I'm not asking for the hard number here, but as a percentage, how much are you up since you started with the program? 4 months ago versus now?
Our sales have gone up 20%. We're looking to scale Southern Eye Consultants, and just the number of patients who come in because they found us on Google has gone up a lot. I text you once a week. You paid for yourself just in somebody walking in. So.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Again, if you're out there today and you feel stuck, just email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. info@thrivetimeshow.com. Let us begin to do a deep dive analysis on your website. We'll tell you what's wrong with it. We're going to do a 37-point audit of your website. Our member of our team will call you. They'll go over it with you. They'll break it down. You'll understand what you need to do to improve. I'll give you the final words here, guys. So I'll start with you, Captain Spurl, Josh Spurl, CPA. As Captain Canada and as a man who's been to 2 workshops now, we got an audience, picture 500,000 people listening here. What is the advice that you would tell them?
I think they got to come out to a workshop. You know, it's the best one that I've ever seen. You know, I find that most of the workshops I've been to, you're sitting around all day for one good idea, and you're getting a good idea every single hour at these workshops.
Dr. Tim, what is the word of encouragement, maybe discouragement, maybe the motivation, maybe the verbal tasering? What advice would you give for the listeners out there today?
I'd say the worst idea you can do is not starting now. Just call and start now, and you'll be better off for it.
You heard them right there. Thrive Nation, go to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Allow us to do a free 37-point analysis of your website. We'll tell you what's wrong. We'll tell you how to fix it. If you're not ranking high enough in those Google search engine results, it will literally cost your company millions and millions and millions of dollars. But don't take my word for it. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and click on the testimonials button. And as of the time of this recording, we have over 1,000 video reviews from my clients I've had from 2008 up until now, from conference attendees. You're just an email away from becoming a game-changing success story. Email us today at info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we like to end every show and every shameless testimonial session with a boom. And so now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.